Welcome to our 9-day Breathwork Challenge, designed to help you break free from your past emotional patterns to tap into your unconditional bliss. Each day is a step towards a more blissful, empowered, and fulfilled you. Our promise to you is that by the end of this session, you'll uncover the hidden emotional patterns that have been holding you back. Stick around to discover how your emotions have shaped you and how you can change that. Did you know that you have unconditional bliss hidden inside you? What if I tell you that all the emotions you're feeling in your body, physically in your body, is your habit patterns? Now we'll approach this topic of unconditional bliss from a yogic point of view. In the earlier videos, we talked about 7 body system, that there is more to you than your physical body. But unfortunately, in the West, we are conditioned to believe that we are just this physical body. But in the East, and the old scriptures tell us that there is more to us than this physical body. The second body is your etheric body, also called pranamaya kosha. In some scriptures, it's called pranic body. That's where your chakra system exists. The third body we're going to talk about is your emotional body, and then your mental body, eventually your causal body, all the way to your bliss body. So the idea is to take you on this journey from your physical body all the way to your bliss body. Once you have this access, once you know how to tap into that bliss, then you'll have access throughout your day, throughout your life, to be able to tap into your unconditional bliss. So in this 9-day Breathwork Challenge, we're going to slowly start to focus on the layers, just like an onion has layers, and slowly you start peeling the layers, and then you get to the real stuff. So this is our bliss body. So first we're going to take off the layers of the thoughts, then your mental patterns, then your emotional pattern, which is the most important part we're going to focus on in this video. Emotional pattern, which is stuck in your emotional body. And then slowly we go deeper into your belief system, which is stuck in your causal body, your karmic body. And then eventually we get to your bliss body, where you can tap into that unconditional bliss that you deserve in your life. And we're gonna use different techniques of breathing, meditation, affirmations, yoga nidra to accomplish all this. So in this 9-day Breathwork Challenge to tap into your unconditional bliss, we're not gonna talk about fixing your circumstances, making it better. We're not gonna teach you how to make more money, how to get into a better relationship, how to improve your health, but we'll simply address the roots where all these problems are coming from, which is your emotional pattern. How can we make you realize first that you have an emotional pattern that might not be serving you? And then second decision you'll have to take is whether you want to let go of this emotional pattern. Now let's talk about these emotional patterns from the thought perspective. See, every thought you have is energy. And scientists are now telling us that we have around 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. And 95% of these 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day are repetitive. What does that mean? That you're thinking the same thoughts you were thinking yesterday. And you'll be thinking the same thoughts you're thinking today, tomorrow. So my friends, when something repeats over and over again unconsciously without your control, it becomes emotional pattern. And my friends, the truth is that you have been carrying this emotional pattern throughout your whole life. And if I ask you, how do you feel right now? Things are great. You might have the best job, best relationship, best family, good circumstances, but you still might feel this sadness inside you, the feeling of unsatisfaction, this feeling of helplessness. And this is your pattern. And this is not the first time you're feeling this. If you're feeling this for the first time, I can say, okay, this might be because of your temporary circumstances. But I want you to close your eyes and go back in your life and tell me, when is the first time you felt this emotion, the sadness, the helplessness? Maybe you were 6 years old. Maybe you were 10 years old. Maybe you were 15 years old. Something happened. And it created an emotional pattern, and it created these repetitive thoughts. That's your subconscious mind. And now that you have this emotional pattern in your subconscious mind, it would create your circumstances. It would make your circumstances in a way that you can feel this emotional pattern again and again wherever you go. What if I tell you that all the emotions you're feeling in your body, your emotional pattern is nothing but your habit? It has nothing to do with the circumstances in your life. It has nothing to do with the people. It has nothing to do with the outside validations, but your emotional habit. You're just used to, when you repeat something over and over and over and over again, your brain creates shortcuts to save energy, and that becomes your habit. For example, when I wake up in the morning, I go to the bathroom and start brushing my teeth with my right hand, and this is a pattern. It happens unconsciously because brain doesn't need to think about this. It just tries to find most efficient way, save energy. So in the same way, you have something called emotional habits. You're just used to thinking in a certain way, and then that's your default. And that is the deeper truth, and it's really hard pill to swallow. And you might think that if I could just get enough money, or if I can just move places, or if I can just get my dream job, I'm gonna be the most blissful person in the world. No, my friends, that's not how things work. You might become happy temporarily, but your emotional patterns are gonna make sure that you're feeling sad and helpless after some time, even with the best job, even with the best partners. I'll give you an example of a conversation or counseling I had with this girl, Sarah. Now, Sarah is not happy with her life. She has a great job and she has a great relationship, but something in her life doesn't feel happy. Now, she decides to take a holiday. When she decides to take a holiday, she wants to leave her existing circumstances so she can be happier. Now, she goes to a beach town, Bali. Once she reaches Bali, it starts raining, and the plans she had with some other people fell through. Now, as the plans fell through and she saw the rain, it triggered rejection in her, and that rejection sent her in the sadness loop again. Now, she walked into the hotel and put a sad song, and now she's creating this melancholy sadness around her. Now, my friends, this is called your emotional pattern. Emotional pattern is not going to leave you, even if you change your circumstances, your place, your job, your relationship. It'll always find a way to make you feel that way, and it'll align the circumstances in your life to make you feel a certain way. So this is what we want to focus on today, your emotional pattern. I can guarantee you that this is your pattern. It's not the first time because of your job, because of your boyfriend, because of your girlfriend, because of your lack of money. It has nothing to do with that. So let's come out and see if this pattern existed when you were 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old. Maybe you're carrying this pattern, emotional pattern, throughout your life unconsciously without you knowing. And now this unconscious or subconscious mind is creating the circumstances so you can feel these emotional patterns again and again. So you have to decide whether there are some emotional patterns in your life which you want to let go, so you can create room for new emotional patterns to come into your life. So as our first step, we're going to focus on discovering your emotional pattern. And for that, we're going to go in 3 minutes of guided meditation. So just close your eyes Find a comfortable seated position, cross-legged, keeping your spine straight, chin parallel. Or if you like to lay down, you can lay down too, but just listen to the instructions. Take a few breaths. Allow the breaths to come all the way into your belly. And then see if you can start to reflect on your emotional pattern. What are those feelings that frequently arise in you? Is it sadness? Is it happiness? Is it frustration? Maybe anger? Perhaps you get anxious. Maybe sometimes you feel helpless. Now start to slowly realize that these emotions existed before the circumstances. That these emotions are not tied to your circumstances, but they are habits of your subconscious mind. Now I want you to slowly start to open your eyes, and whatever emotional pattern existed for you, see if you can journal it, write it down. If you are clear with your emotional pattern, if you know what you want to work on this 9-day breathwork challenge, then you can go on to the next video. Otherwise, continue this meditation again so you can feel clear about what you're going to be working on. Once you have clarity, once you know your emotional pattern that is not serving you, then we are ready to take the next step. To deepen your practice, sign up for our holistic membership on our website. As a member, you gain exclusive access to the 9-day breathwork challenge for Unconditional Bliss, along with the entire library of courses on breathwork, meditation, and self-improvement. Click on the link below to sign up. Also, please don't forget to download your breathwork journal. This journal offers profound insights into your emotional growth.